CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I'm Lauren Pastrana and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories. Breaking news right off the top. 4 people are dead and 9 others hospitalized after a school shooting at Appalachia High School in Winder, Georgia. This is a town 40 miles northeast of Atlanta. Local officials say the suspected shooter, who's believed to be 14 years old, is in custody. It's not yet known whether that teen attended that high school. We'll have the latest developments on this breaking news coming up on CBS News Miami at 5. A U.S. service member has been detained in Venezuela, according to 4 U.S. officials familiar with the matter. The U.S. Navy sailor is reportedly a U.S. citizen and was detained on August 30th in Caracas. According to CNN, one of the officials said he's being held by the Venezuelan intelligence agency. Another says he was not on official travel or approved leave. It all comes during a period of serious unrest in Venezuela after opposition and multiple Latin American leaders refused to recognize the re-election of the country's authoritarian leader, Nicolás Maduro, in July. It all comes just 2 days after Maduro's plane was seized in the Dominican Republic and brought to Fort Lauderdale. A plea this afternoon to find the people who killed a toddler and 2 others in a series of deadly shootings in Fort Lauderdale. CBS News Miami's Ted Scouten reports.
A family and elected officials are making a plea to help find a killer. Last month, 3-year-old Rilo Yancey was gunned down during a drive-by shooting at a park. It was during a child's birthday party. Today, elected leaders in Fort Lauderdale urged the public to get involved and come forward with information that can identify whoever is responsible. The child's grandfather thinks people are scared of whoever killed Rilo.
They need to go get him. I'm not scared of him. That's why I'm showing my face. I'm not scared to get on the news. That's my grandbaby. Y'all took my heart. Y'all took my soul. Y'all took everything from me.
Anyone with information is urged to call Crime Stoppers, or if someone's too scared to make the call, the NAACP said they would pass along information given to them. Coming up at 5 o'clock, we'll hear more from Rilo's family. In Fort Lauderdale, Ted Scouten, CBS News Miami.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
Taking a live look outside, it's a hot and very sticky day, and we do have a heat advisory in effect. Next Weather meteorologist Cindy Pressler lets us know if rain is going to bring us any relief. The people at the beach don't want the rain, Cindy.
No, they don't, but a nice little cooling shower would be a good idea, wouldn't it? I just don't see a lot out there right now. If you're down in the Keys, yes, there are some showers there. Here along the Atlantic coast, not so much. We've got that strong east-southeasterly flow again today, so it pushes everything off to the west. 89 degrees, but again, with that humidity there, it feels like it's in the triple digits, and that's why that heat advisory is in effect, and we're likely going to see more of them this week because we're not going to see any relief there. Lower rain chances because of this dry, dusty air. Yes, it's a little bit of Saharan dust that's kind of sneaking back in here for a few days, so that's why our rain chances are lower, and we're watching now 4 tropical waves in the tropics, and I'll take a look at those. I'll show you those in just a bit. Here's your heat advisory in effect until 6 p.m. for Broward and Miami-Dade County. Down in the Keys, it'll run another hour up to 7 p.m. You could see some heat indices up to 112 degrees. It feels like temperatures. And there you look at mostly cloudy skies. A lot of clouds today, but these showers and storms pushing off to the west. So all that heavier rain and the lightning and the storms over in Collier County. We've seen a few showers today. So far picked up 1/3 of an inch at the airport, but look at the activity going on down here from south of Key Largo down to Tavernier, Long Key. Marathon had a nice shower, some thunder and lightning there. Cudjoe and Key West, not as much rain, but these little showers are ongoing, so there's a lot more moisture out in the Atlantic and the Caribbean. So with that dust coming in here again over Thursday, Friday again, that's going to keep our rain chances quite low and our temperatures quite high. So there you go. There's the price you pay for it. Only a 20% chance again on Thursday and Friday, up just slightly this weekend. Next week, I think we'll go into more normal pattern. We'll see a better chance for showers and storms. We'll track that moisture for you. The purples, that's the moisture. See how it dries out all the way through the weekend. So kind of unusual for the wet season. So let's pop out to the tropics. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's start out here in the very eastern Atlantic. Only a 20% chance that that wave is going to do anything. Lower for this wave, so we're not worried about that. Another one popped in today just off the coast there of the United States. Very low chance that that's going to cause any problems. This is the only one that has a little bit higher chance over the next week in the Gulf of Mexico. We'll keep an eye on that one, but in this case, no problem whatsoever. Temperatures staying hot in the lower 90s. Low rain chances until we get into the middle of next week.
Cindy, thank you. A South Florida family not giving up and demanding answers for a third straight day after they say a loved one was found dead in a nursing home closet. CBS News Miami's Peter Dench reports.
We are here in North Miami where relatives say they plan to keep up the pressure to try and find out what happened to their relative, 71-year-old Ellen Etienne, who was reported missing from the Miami-Dade Nursing and Rehabilitation Center on August 22nd, and then his body was found decomposing in a closet of the facility this past Monday, September 2nd. We are with Rivley Bruce, who is the niece of Ellen Etienne. What sorts of questions do you have about this?
I want to know how he ended up in the closet, if he was put there or if he wandered in there, and did he die in the closet or was he already dead before being put in the closet?
You're not getting any answers from the center at all?
No, we're not.
What really troubles you also about this is not getting the questions answered?
Yes, and I think that they see the gravity of the situation, and them not wanting to acknowledge it hurts me the most.
Okay, thank you very much. And coming up tonight, starting at around 5, loved ones will be back at the facility demonstrating, calling for answers. We'll have much more on that story coming up at 5 in North Miami. Peter Dench, CBS News Miami.
Miami Beach police say they are launching a death investigation linked to yesterday's scaffolding collapse, although they believe there was no foul play. The scaffolding collapsed during construction work at this building along Collins Avenue and 58th Street. You can see the scaffolding dangling from the side of the building. One man was rushed to the hospital where he later died. Another was treated at the scene. A man who lives across the street explained the chaos when first responders arrived.
A lot of rescue, a lot of police car, everybody inside the building, outside the building, something big happening.
Police say they're trying to track down the victim's family before releasing his identity. The cause of the collapse remains under investigation. The search is on for the thieves who apparently robbed Apocalypse Barbecue in Kendall. Police say they got into the safe, cash register, and even took all the employees' tips. The owner says he's offering a $10,000 reward for any information that leads to an arrest. And if you have DirecTV, you're most likely very aware that some of your channels are currently in a blackout. Find out how you can now get a credit on your bill when we come back. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Now to the latest in the Israel-Hamas war. The U.S. Justice Department found criminal charges against 6 senior leaders of Hamas in the deaths of dozens of Americans who were killed in the October 7th terror attack in Israel. The charges come as thousands of protesters again filled the streets in Israel. CBS News Miami's Natalie Brand has the latest.
We want them alive.
In Tel Aviv, family members of hostages vowed Wednesday to remain in the streets until their loved ones are freed.
We have to do a deal now, to seal a deal now. We can't wait.
Protesters are stepping up calls on Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to agree to a ceasefire and hostage release deal after the recent killings of 6 hostages in Gaza, including Israeli-American Hirsch Goldberg Poland. But Netanyahu has vowed not to give in to pressure, insisting Israel must control a section along Gaza's border with Egypt called the Philadelphia Corridor in order to prevent Hamas from smuggling weapons into Gaza. Egypt and Hamas deny the claim, and Hamas insists on a full withdrawal. Tuesday night, Israel's former defense minister Benny Gantz said the corridor does not pose an existential threat and should not get in the way of a deal. Nearly 11 months since the October 7th terror attacks that started this conflict, the U.S. Justice Department unveiled criminal charges against Hamas leaders, citing the deaths of dozens of Israeli Americans. But half of those charged are dead. The other 3, including the current leader, Yahya Sinwar, have yet to be captured. Experts on the region call the move largely symbolic.
I think it's unlikely that the individuals, Yahya Sinwar in particular, will be captured by the United States. I think he's much more likely to be killed or captured by Israel.
The Justice Department said the charges will not be its last effort to target Hamas. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
In today's Consumer Watch, millions of DirecTV subscribers affected by the blackout of Disney-owned stations can get a $20 credit. Customers can fill out a form on DirecTV's website to apply. The company says the credit will show up on subscribers' accounts in up to 2 billing cycles. The blackout is happening because of a contract dispute between the two companies, and it affects ABC, Disney, and ESPN stations. More people than ever are reporting scams online. The FBI says it received more than 880,000 complaints last year alone, up 10% from 2022. One of the scams involves emails that threaten blackmail and can include your name, address, and even a street view image of where you live. Experts say they often include an urgent deadline, awkward wording, or generic language. Dan Ackerman, editor-in-chief of Micro Center News, appeared on CBS Mornings to discuss these scams that may seem like they have personal information.
No matter how savvy you are, you're going to say, wait a minute, is this real? Is this me? And the good news is that 99.999% of the time, it's not. If they had something on you, they would give you a screen grab of a shot from inside your house or some detail about yourself and your life that's not just publicly available.
If you get a blackmail email, Ackerman advises do not respond, do not pay scammers any money, and report the email to your email provider as spam or phishing. Good advice there. That's CBS News Miami's Quickcast. I'm Lauren Pastrana. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS Miami.